Hello everyone, my name is Garrett Okamber, and welcome back to Space Engineers. I started working on a ship here, and the only reason I started working on it a little bit earlier than I normally would is because, well, it is going to be a super massive ship. This isn't even the size it's going to be when it's done. This is a small compartment to a much larger ship. To give you a scale of how big this ship is going to be when I am done with it, you have this end here, and it's going to probably reach, I would say, well across this valley. So this is a very expansive vehicle that I'm building. And starship, star destroyer of sorts. I have a lot of ideas for this, and it's going to take me a long time, so I figured I'd start recording some of the building of it. I got this first chunk here done because it was easy. Well, it wasn't easy. It was easy to foreseeably record it now, while I've got a decent chunk of the engine room done, and then start off after I'd started. It seemed like an easier idea. So this is going to be a star bridge here, as I'm calling it, allowing me to look out into the great beyond once we're in the air. It's really cool. I like it. It gives you a lot of view of your surroundings, lets a lot of light in, which is really nice, and it's what separates this room. So this here, kind of nice. It's a nice little compartment. This leads into the engine room, which is quite massive. And I made it look pretty damn nice. I like the way it looks. I think it looks quite nice. It has a different color scheme than the rest of the ship. This ship is going to be black and cyan colored. That's my primary idea for it. So this is the engine room, and quite a lot of engines. Yeah, there are a lot of engines. And this is just engine room number 1. I'm sure a ship of the magnitude that I'm envisioning is going to require a lot more. That's a projector, by the way. I don't exactly know how to use it, but I put it up there because I thought it was cool. This ship is going to require a lot of work. And this is a glass floor, if you were wondering. I also want to thank, and I forgot his name because I haven't actually looked at the comments that much lately, but thank the person who is telling me some of the controls for this game that I haven't really thought of. I knew about, V does this. Ooh, I'm yellow for some reason. Whatever. I know that, some controls do certain things. I did not know, however, that I could actually add more than one gyroscope to a ship and have better turning and stuff. And that's the only reason I figured I was gonna do this. Make this ship actually the size that I'm envisioning. So I hope you guys are ready, because I'm getting ready to build this ship. Super freaking big. A lot of these panels are not even remotely the how am I gonna do this? Sorry, I'm trying to think of how I'm gonna actually make this look good. A lot of these panels are the wrong density. It's a weird block. Is it a corner block? That is a corner block. Okay, I don't want that. Ah, these are the blocks I want. Yes, I see. Yeah, a lot of these panels here need to be durable. If they're not durable, things are gonna go horribly wrong for me. I need to make it so that the ship can take a hit. If it can't take a hit, it'll fall to pieces. I'm literally going all out on this ship. I'm aiming to make it the largest thing I've ever made in this game, period. So I'm going to use heavy armor for a lot of pieces here and there. Let's just fill you in now. Why not, right? Okay. Smile for me. And poof. Okay. Nope, that's the wrong... What was I saying? I need to make it durable. I need to make it durable. If it's not durable, there is no point, right? So let's add this in here. Yeah, I began work on this with that inspiration in mind, just being like, I need to make the largest ship I've ever made in this game. Ever. Because I feel I need to. I feel I need to. I would like to. Underbelly of this thing. 46 long there. I mean, sometimes you just have to build something that's immensely large. You get that inspiration, and it's like, yeah, I wanna build it because I can, and I haven't done it before. Something I desire to do. Let's pull that around there. Pull up the 45 for now. And I am aiming to make this symmetrical. So far, the entire ship is symmetrical, except for a few generators, which does not matter, because you're not going to see it, really. You're not noticing those generators being not so symmetrical. This is not important. What is important is that the ship look as fucking cool as it can make it. As I can possibly make it. I'm trying to make it as cool as I can. 53, 54. Okay. Let's bring that up here. So I'm making a skeletal structure here, so I know exactly how big each section is going to be. This is going to be a larger section than what it is currently, but I'm just making it this way, so I know, I have some idea of what I'm doing. This section here is going to be littered on the bottom with a large host of those beautiful thrusters that I'm going to need to make this work. And it's a mixture of hydrogen and the energy thrusters. 105. This is all heavy armor panels, so I need the hydrogen thrusters more than ever. Because of how useful they are. Let's get some thrusters down now, while we're at it. And I'm also going to need to burn through a lot of gravity engines, gravity generators, because this is going to be quite extensive. 96. This needs to have a lot of boost in all directions. I'm kind of sort of second guessing myself. I don't exactly know how much I'm gonna need to be able to control this damn thing. I mean, it's gonna be a large ship. A super large ship. This thing is going to weigh a lot. I can imagine, if you were kind of in the mindset of believing, let's try to role play the Star Wars universe for a moment. how much work went into building the Death Star. I mean, it took years. It took years to make. Darth Vader was in his, like, you know, late 50s or so, and he never even saw... Well, I mean, no, he obviously got to see the final Death Star, but what I mean is, like, in that amount of time that goes by, he never got to see more than 2 ever created. And that's, like, futuristic technology. I'm placing this block by block. Can you imagine if there were, like, little men in this game just constructing this shit, just being like, hey, we're building a starship, yay! And it takes them forever. It would take them fucking forever. For all intents and purposes, this episode is not going to be done anytime soon, so don't think this is going to be a short ship build. I am considering making this incredibly lengthy. And I think it deserves to be. I mean, it's going to be the biggest ship I've ever built. It's all going to be here on YouTube. Oh, yeah. I gotta still construct some of these walls here. I realize that also the landing proportions are a bit weird, so I'm gonna worry about the landing stuff once I get it airborne for the most part. I mean, I'll construct the rough parts, but the landing, I don't actually think this thing will actually be able to land once it takes off. It's gonna take off, and it's gonna stay up there, but if it does get a chance to land again, I would like to have the option of putting stuff. Because I was looking here, I was like, oh, I built this way too far below. There's no way in hell I can land that properly, so I'm going to figure out a way to land it just right. I'm actually thinking of doing like a landing system where it lands, and I was thinking this was really cool. The main central cockpit would be somewhere in the middle of the craft, facing up. And it'd be in such a position that I could upend this thing, possibly, but at the same time that might be a bit weird, unless I had the gravity systems in that direction. That'd be cool to do, but I don't know if that's gonna happen, so we'll see. You know, if I make this really large, I can get away with it. In fact, I might even reinforce the spine here just a little bit and bring it up. It is possible. I've had a ship before that had so much gravity on it that it could do wondrous things. And we'll bring the spine just up a little bit more. I'm calling it the spine because that's essentially what it is right now. It's just a spine of a great ship design. Okay, we got some rooms here that I'm designing. Can't seem to do that. They don't actually all need to be symmetrical there. Oh, I did that wrong. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Rooms don't need to be 100% symmetrical. That's perfectly okay. This is like the main, like, hobby area. Well, not hobby area. This is like the main crew quarter stuff and areas of the ship. It doesn't need to be symmetrical. It's where a lot of stuff will happen. There's storerooms and medical bays and stuff like that. I have some extra generators right below there in case the main generators are not enough. Hopefully they will be. I should hope so. I should hope so. I mean, you never know. Okay. I need to apply more armor to the bottom here. We're going to apply it just above this layer here, so this is all invisible. Can't just look through it. There's going to be a little bit of clearance down below there, but I don't mind much. we're not ever going to go down there, so that's good. 1,000 something block. Dear God. But that added a lot of weight. Yes, don't mind if I do. Okay. There's also going to be an upstairs, so we'll definitely consider putting certain areas like this right here. I'm going to designate this as a upstairs sort of transition because I can. So we're going to have that right there. So we'll have a staircase. And this staircase will give us the ability to move up the ship and give our crew something to... Oh, that's not going to work. How do I do this? Put that down. I have to attach that to something else. That's what I have to do. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I was having a conundrum there. I was like, oh, how do I get this to connect? And that's how we do it, right there. I can still, however, put something there. Just to solidify it. There we go. Actually, it looks a little garbly. Let's change that to... Come on. There we go. Change that to this. Ah, there we are. Okay, that's a little more structured. Let's keep going up, shall we? Gonna have to do the same thing. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Okay. Attach that to there. Remove that block. And replace it with this block. Cool. Okay, this section here is actually going to be the staircase, and it doesn't look like much at first, but it has lights leading up. And this is going to be like a ventilation shaft, looking in on some like stuff, just for looks, just for appearance. So you get a few of them there. It's going to go up, and you're going to have these nice little shutters up here. This is all interior when it's done, so all this is going to look very different. Obviously, when the ship is done, I'm going to do a huge tour of it, so I hope you guys are getting some ideas right now, because there's going to be a lot of cool shit on this ship. This is a nice angle of the back of the ship, or at least the current back of the ship. I'm not sure how much larger this will get. Probably expand it outwards with more thruster, obviously, more thrusters coming off of here. It's going to be eventually losing its blocky shape. It is still kind of like a box, like a shoebox, and it's going to be losing that as I construct more of the craft. As it stands currently, this is nowhere near as large as it's going to be. This is a pretty grand project. While I was taking a small break from recording, I created this nice little support structure here. And that will hold up both parts of the ship a little bit better than just one. This is heavily armored. That's all heavy armor, and there's multiple layers to it. There's even this little connection thing here. And, but I just wanted to make sure that it was all going to remain as strong as possible. And I actually forgot to seal this area off. I'm an idiot. I've been so concerned building other parts of the ship. I completely forgot about that. Apparently, because I'm a dumbass. Good thing I caught it now. Not that it was ever gonna be too late. It's just, it's like, oh, I completely forgot about this thing. Let's Move this here. Apply that. There's going to be a lot of sharp angles on this ship. Originally, I was going to go for more spherical, and then I decided against it. I want to do a spherical ship. I really do. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Already on a roll here, building this the way I like it. I'm adding more depth to the bottoms, because I know now that's not going to be the final area where it parks. I'm going to have another region where it does that. I'm going to apply that there. Here. There. And here. Going to flip this. Flip this one as well. Okay. And a steep incline. Oop, that was actually perfect, and I screwed it up. Okay. Alright, I like these sharp angles. I like how I'm putting them in and fleshing it out, fleshing it out. I want it to look really impressive from a distance. That was also perfect when I screwed up. There we go. I want it to look impressive from a distance, so in order to do that, you gotta kind of sort of add in all these little ups and downs and ins and outs. I wonder what happens if I put a solar panel as a color. No, it just colors the side. I definitely want to have solar capabilities on this thing. The question is where, and this actually looks like a perfect spot to add to. So we're going to do that off the bat. I'm going to apply more solar panels as time goes on. One of them is red. I don't know why. Is it not getting sun? I don't care, really. I have no idea what's going on with that. And with the addition of solar panels, this allows me to add some more art to it if I so desire. Like this, for example. It's like a little outer compartment thing going on. And it's additional armoring. Additional armoring. I think it's just light. Yeah, I think that one is not getting light or something like that. I don't know. It's weird. We were gonna add antennas on that down there, just for dramatic effect. I don't think any craft really needs this many antennas, but there's no real point in that thing unless there's an antenna system. Okay. Antenna 5 and antenna 6. So the back of the ship has a lot of antennas. But I don't know if I'm going to add more around the ship, or at least one more somewhere. We're still so far from being done. This is just funny. I'm thinking of it in my head, and I've got all these design plans. So I hope you guys are enjoying this episode so far. I'm going to end it here, and there'll be a lot more work done off camera as well, because this is a very large project that I'm undertaking for a ship, and I'm hoping I actually complete it. I'm hoping I don't just be like, oh, I don't want to work on this, because I like it. I like the concept. I've added 2 doors here, 2 additional hallways. You'll get to see those probably in the next episode. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of Space Engineers. Bye.